This chair. 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 Ah. 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 This chair. 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 Ah. Okay. That was a stifled representation of Shiki Tono in Tsuki Hime. So yeah, recently I've been kind of busy, but it's okay. Always making time for Type Moon. So I really haven't done anything on Tsuki Hime yet. Well, I haven't done anything on Kono Kokai yet, but that's gonna be like a more, I guess, fervent, enjoyable thing to make. But on Tsukihime is about this guy who has special eyes. So he got into a great accident. I won't spoil too much, but basically that's the premise of the story. He gets special eyes, and he gets in special situations. So much like every Time protagonist, Shiki Tono is kind of messed up. But I do think he is kind of a lot more easygoing than say for the likes of Emishiro and Yogishiki. However, that makes him. I think the one thing that makes him like really crazy is like his instincts. Tsukihime is so edgy, and it's like sometimes his instincts just take over. He needs to do like really gratuitous things, like I need to murder, I need to slaughter people, I need to splay blood around my house like a decoration. But I think there is a kind of serenity in his lifestyle, in which he takes everything as it is. But he wants to seize the day. But at the end of each road, he kind of just becomes a new person, whether by being changed by the heroines or him kind of having been sacrifice. So without much spoiler territory, I will say Shiki Tono has the most like this tenuous kind of flippy floppy character of the Time protagonist. I still think he's very good. Tsukihime may be my least favorite entry so far, but to be honest, it was made like $4 on a potato PC on like what 1999. Yeah, pretty old. So honestly, it did kind of fantastic. It had 9 tracks of music. I'm not kidding. That stupid last one, the original one, which was literally playing guitar. It's like after Arcade leaves, I was there sitting like. And then the guitar blares, and I'm like, why did you do that? You show me the saddest thing to happen in Type Moon. For like, it's pretty comparable, I think. It's pretty sad. I think Tono gets like 2 pretty awful endings, I'm just gonna say. Spoiler territory. Okay, this is where it's spoilers. I don't really care about spoilers anymore. If you walk into this, I guess it's on you. So, Arcade Road, great. All the antagonists suck. Roa is like, oh, I'm immortal. Ha ha ha. What was it? I'm Professor Roa. Arcade, you suck. I'm immortal. I love being immortal. I'm gonna kill you and then just die. That's Roa. And then there's the Narrow Chaos. He's kind of fodder. He's like, I can't even think of a Fate's Name that equivalent because he sucks. And Narrow has six beasts, more like 1 beast. Yeah, he kind of dies in that 1 strike. So and then Seal Root is also very interesting. It is a very interesting ending with like the little Shiki talking to the big Shiki, and I like Seal. I think I like her maybe a little more or about the same as Hisui. I really like Arcade. The Arcade's ending was kind of it was really heartfelt and sad. It was pretty. It's like a pretty bittersweet ending. It's also like a pretty bad ending for Shiki, but I'm fine with that. So yeah, I think Seal's route is awful. The pacing is all over the place. Roa shows up for 2 seconds to aura form and say again, haha, I'm Roa, I'm mortal. Are you Shiki because you're Shiki, or are you Shiki because I'm Shiki? That's literally something he says. Like again, she has like two good scenes in comparison to, like all the heroines' roots that have like better scenes. I'm tearing up over how like mid Siwa's root is, but yeah, I think Siwa is a fine heroine. She probably has the best like battle look. She looks pretty cool in that tattoo thingy. I know she gets removed um in the remake her charm, but I think she looks fine in both. Obviously, Curry Senpai looks better with those weird blocky hairs. But yeah, Sue is a good character, you know, kind of hates herself for being an evil vampire even though it wasn't her fault. Pretty cool. I like her scene with Tono where they like she kind of cries like I can't kill you, man. Ah, you're too good of a guy. Ah, yeah. Well, of course, if you were taunting a guy at like um seventh sacrament point, you would expect him to just like fight back, but he doesn't fight back. It's a really nice scene. Again, rest of the route is kind of mid. Really don't think the antagonists are all that much in Tsukihime, even the far side routes, but I'll get to that right now. So, Akia's route is very cool, you know. Everyone knows the line. Okay, I'm not gonna say it, but Akia's route, Aki is a pretty cool character. I think I might like her a little bit more than Sue because of how like she conducts herself from Shiki. She's just kind of like Nissan, go. Sorry on proms. She's kind of sassy, you know. That's pretty cool. And finally, a good antagonist. We have Big Shiki, like capitalized Shiki. He's just kind of evil, but he was driven to madness after this guy stole his entire identity. You know, identity theft is not a joke, guys. We have so many Shikas in Nautiverse, we barely even know who what Shiki is, right? We have Big Shiki, Small Shiki, Shiki male, Shiki female. Yeah, big confusion. But overall, Shiki and Tsukihime, the one that is, you know, psycho crazy. Oh wait, that's yeah, the one that's his white hair. He looks like Leo. He looks like Leo. He he's a very like I guess flimsy reason for revenge. It doesn't make sense whether he just does like this doesn't care about Tono. He's like, you stole my life, man. You stole my family, my belongings, my house, everything, man. Even my even my room. Not that knife is yours though. He says. So yeah, Akira's route is pretty good. Sad ending, but Katsutoya kind of again retcons it. I'm fine with that. I mean, it's a good side story. What else? Oh yeah, History route is absolutely brutal. I don't know how Nasu would have ended like that. It, yeah, look, she spends his time bedridden, dying in his bed. It's pretty terrifying. He's like a patient in house. He goes in like cardiac arrest every 2 seconds. Like as soon as I do, I, he actually does that like 5 times. There's a bunch of nonsense about the root or something. Pretty scary. But the scariest thing is what happens at the end. Everyone knows it. Kawaku the tree. I don't even know what to say. When I say like Tsukihime has pretty bad antagonists for most of the time, I think this is an exception. Kawaku is an amazing character. I I don't know where to begin without being like very explicit, but you could tell something was wrong with her for a little bit, but probably didn't expect her to turn out like that. I was kind of spoiled on what happened to her, but I didn't make the scene any more like shocking or any less shocking. My bad. I just didn't think Nasu would write an ending like that. It was actually like kind of awful for everyone all around. In the plus disc and the when Sachin and C were talking or something, I forgot. Sachin and someone in Nickel Arc. They were talking about how Kohaku and Akia's roots were not ideal. And I'm like, considering what happens in Aki's route and what happens in Kagu's route, I'd say they're pretty like okay compared to what happens in Hisu's route. The two main characters die in Hisu's route. It is insanely sad. It is incredibly sad. I genuinely didn't think Nasu would be able to like the balls that actually do that. Well, it was like 30 years ago, almost. So, with the remake coming on, I really do hope he keeps that kind of ending. It's just so bleak. I I think Hisu is a fine character. She's alright. She's just nice. She's a saint. And that's all you need for, a good character. She's a good person. Takes her Shiki, apologizes. She's a good person. She's a great person. Probably the best person in Tsuki, who doesn't gaslight the guy to oblivion. Only a little bit. Kawako, on the other hand, is like, she feeds him his gaslighting medicine. Oh, Shiki-san, it's your medicine time, and then she goes like, oh, hi, I'm Hisui. My sister has been wandering around. You want some medicine? Medicine, Shiki-sama? Yeah, that stuff's nasty. And I love Kakeru. Kakeru is just like what you needed, I guess. She's a very broken person, and half the time she doesn't even know she's thinking the same things or the right things. Yeah, Tsukihime, and of course, the goat. Al Kawasaki's back. Probably should talk more about Kawaku, but again, I don't have much more to work because her route is awesome. Could have been a little longer. I didn't feel like it was that short, but Kawaku's my new favorite Taiwan character, I guess. Sounds like Kokuto Miki and maybe like Sojiro. But Kawaku's pretty up there. Yeah, Al Kawasaki, awesome. My goat. My fifth magician goat. Going around almost kicking little kids into the ground and imparting life lessons. Amazing. And I'm reading through Kagetsu Plus this was awesome. We get to see she's in his cousin in a Santa outfit. She looks pretty awesome in that. Pretty cute. Oh yeah. Arihiko's sister. Tono! You didn't tell me you were having sleepovers in a house or something like that. What are you doing, man? What are you wasting your time on those, 1,000-year-old vampires? Those, kind of in the head maids, I'm just saying. Wait like a couple years and, ow. Ariko's sister, I'd be making Ariko my real brother-in-law, I'm just saying. This is a private video, whatever. Otherwise, yeah. Tsukihime. I'm suking it. There's like a Yutge. Yeah, Yutge. Moon Princess, and there's also a character named Soka Tsukihime. For some reason. For some strange reason. Congrats, Nasu. I guess you made a pretty good visual novel for $4. And I was pretty close to tearing up in this one scene in Kaku. It wasn't near the end. You stop smiling, it's a pretty emotional scene, I think. Tsukihime is rough as hell. Sometimes it's pretty funny, sometimes it's pretty bad. Most of the time, it's pretty endearing. If you search through it, I'm sure you would find something you like. So now I'm on the bandwagon of where is Red Garden? Where is he? Where's Red Garden, Nasu? It's been almost 20 8, 9, 30 years. Where's the Sachin? Actually, oh yeah, Sachin is actually an amazing character. She's basically female Leo, and I love Leo Shirazumi. He eats people. He eats people like an animal, and Sachin does the same thing. Satsuki does the exact same thing, but with bit more of a yandere flair. And she was kind of obsessed with Shiki before the story started, so she's the MVP. She's the OG. Pre-ordered pre-ordered the Nanaya Blood. Well, yeah. I hope she gets a pretty good route. Probably will. It's been. It's actually been like 26 years, man. That is like twice. Maybe not. I'd say like. I had to live like 10 more years to say, oh, that's how I waited that long for Red Guard. Did anyone who's waited that long? You deserve it, man. I mean, I waited another 20 years, Red Garden, but I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting with you. Red Garden, I know you're coming. I guess my favorite team, Tsukihime? I don't really know. It could be. I feel like it's something in Kakarot. Definitely, probably, History Trend. And the worst one would definitely be, Arcurit's good, Arcurit's good end, the Series good end. Those are awful. But, History and Kohaku, they're awesome. I didn't think they'd be such awesome characters. I thought they'd be kind of one off and just, seeing the roots were kind of rushed. But, let this be a lesson. Things that are rushed can be pretty good, right? They are rushed in it of itself, but do what you can do. Kawaku, man. Kawaku. Everyone, it's okay to not smile sometimes. I don't even know how to do it, really. Yeah, it's like, it's past my bedtime. So, I want to make a video on Tsukihime. Karna Kyokai is something I want to talk about a lot, but I'm reading the novels. Love it. Ooh. And then he said, because I'm weak. Yeah. Oh yeah, also there's someone who looks exactly like Crypto Meek in Plus Disc. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm like dozing off. Anyways, that's it. Read Tsukihime, not because Neko came for it, because it's awesome. It's literally online. You can read Tsukihime easier than you can like pirate a book, which also isn't that hard. But yeah, hear from me. Nemesis has been very tired recently, not because he's been busy, but because he's been because weighed down by everything. Lack of sleep, not enough Tsukihime, not enough Katsutoyo, maybe too much. Ooh. Very mysterious things happened to me. But I just want to say, suffering is like pretty good. It is probably like never going to be a light for you when you think it is. But as long as you think there's a light, you just keep going. It doesn't matter how much you fall down or sink. It doesn't matter. Keep going. Look forward. It's kind of just blurred. To go forward. There's no guarantee it's going to be good. There's no guarantee it's going to make you successful. Better than sitting down, right? And, well, you suffer both ways, but, pick your poison. Nemesis, out. What did Koaku say? My blood vessels became tubes. This chair. This chair! This chair! This chair. This chair.